top stories, laws of St. Kitts and Nevis presented to the Governor General. February 20th is Budget Day in Nevis, and Prime Minister Drew commends Ministry of Sustainable Development. The details on these stories and more after quick.
In cricket, there are a few essentials. A bat, a pitch, a ball, some fielders, and plenty of refreshments. Enjoy the cricket with Angostura Chill. Angostura Chill, the official refreshment partner of the Hero CPL T20.
Get the kind of value you'll love that's unmatched at Courts now. We're unmatched in quality and prices. Buy any item and get up to 30% off the second item of same or equal value store-wide. When you shop with Ready Finance, you can get it now with no cash and pay over time. Now that's unmatched value. Only at Courts. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply. Promotion runs February 28, 2023.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. I'm Kyla Berridge. Attorney General and Minister of Justice and Legal Affairs, Senator Honorable Garth Wilkin, and Officer in the Law Commission, Mr. Rohan Walters, presented copies of the revised laws of St. Kitts and Nevis and the ordinances of Nevis to Governor General Her Excellency Dame Marcella Leiber, GCMG JP, on Friday. The Law Commission of St. Kitts and Nevis completed the revision of the laws of St. Kitts and Nevis and the ordinances of Nevis, consolidated and revised for the period January 1st, 2018 to December 31st, 2020. Similar to the presentation made to Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Terence Drew in January, Dame Marcella was presented with the 2020 revised supplement bounded in 6 volumes and a pen drive containing the 2002, 2009, 2017 and 2020 edition of the laws. February 20th is Budget Day on Nevis. Premier of Nevis and Minister of Finance, Honorable Mark Brantley, will present the 2023 budget at a sitting of the Nevis Island Assembly at Hamilton House on Monday, February 20th at 10 a.m. This, according to the Nevis Island Administration, which also informed that newly sworn-in President of the Assembly, Honorable Michelle Slack, will preside over the sitting with Ms. Mara Williams, Clerk of the Assembly. This is the second sitting of the Nevis Island Assembly for the year so far. Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Terence Drew has commended the Ministry of Sustainable Development for its work in ensuring that land matters in St. Kitts are being addressed. The Prime Minister was present at the first day of the Ministry's Land Allocation, Normalization and Distribution Fair on Thursday.
I want to, of course, commend the Minister for Sustainable Development, the Honorable Dr. Joya Clark, and the PS for Sustainable Development, PS Shez Doe Tyson, and their staff, their able staff, for putting this innovative type of function together. We have not seen anything like this before in our federation, and I think that they are really mapping out how they are going to use innovative ideas and technology and so forth to reach the people, to bring the government to the people.
Prime Minister Drew said the Land Allocation, Normalization and Distribution Fair represented offering people a transparent way of how land is dealt with under the new administration. The Nevis Island Administration has successfully negotiated the acquisition of approximately 9.1 acres of land at Wali, intended for use in the build-out of the water taxi pier facility. On February 6th, the Nevis government, through its legal department, headed by legal counsel Mrs. Helen Ann Lewis, executed agreements and paid a deposit to the landowners. Premier of Nevis Honorable Mark Brantley spoke on the critical acquisition, saying, quote, "The purchase of the 9.1 acres of land at Wali was intended for parking and to build out infrastructure at the Wali water taxi pier. We have seen considerable usage of that facility since it's been built, and we feel that it is now time to create amenities that will accompany that facility and allow that facility to be more user-friendly for those who are seeking to transit via that facility into and out of Nevis, end quote. The initial phase of the build-out will see the provision of over 30 parking slots with a view to developing other amenities in the environments of the facility over time. After the break, former student of Virchels High receives Top CXC/CCSLC Regional Award, and former students of Taiwan universities recount their experience. Stay with us.
Here are your Horses Value Mart IG Value Club Valentine's Specials.
Running February 9 to the 22nd.
Our Value Club Blue Tag Specials, IGA and Essential Everyday Honey Beer, $15.99. Quaker Granola Bars, just $11.99. Or Ida Fries, $18.99. Breyers Premium Ice Cream, $26.99. Tide Liquid Detergent, $34.99. Suavitel Fabric Softener, just $19.99. And now our very low weekly
Value deals. Post honey bunches of oats, $12.99. Snack pack puddings, $5.99. IG and Essential Everyday Cream Cheese, $6.49. Welch's Grape Juices, $15.99. Mr. Clean Liquid Cleaner, $12.99. Dial Liquid Hand Soap, $5.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Tell them in Spanish.
sea listo y haga sus compras aquí a Value Mart.
There is no better time to discover what your National Bank Visa debit or black cards can do.
Mimi, what's that song?
It can get you out of a pickle. Using my National Bank Visa card is fast, secure, and convenient.
Cashless SKN is our new lifestyle choice. National Bank, always here.
We embarked a couple of years ago on a transformation program, and that is essentially to push the company into the 21st century. We're seeking to continue to be relevant, continue to be the leader in the business community, because if you stand still, somebody else is moving ahead of you.
We now employ about 110 persons on Nevis across the group. Back then we probably had half of them.
TBC impacted people's lives. Have about a handful of people who will tell you, TBC is my life.
Supporting stakeholders, obviously very, very strong and committed staff, and customers who believe in us.
Well, the scholarship program is, as far as I'm concerned, one of the best in St. Kitts.
Almost every year you get a student who says, one day I'm going to be Prime Minister.
I was interviewing for the Warrell Tyson scholarship program. Eventually was told a few weeks later that I was a successful recipient. Those soft skills, I think, were tremendous and still serve me even up to today.
Welcome back. A former student of the Virchels High School, Joshornia Edwards, was awarded the Caribbean Examination Council's Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence, CCSLC, Regional Award for the academic year 2021 to 2022. During a ceremony held at the school grounds on Thursday, Edwards was presented a plaque by Principal Miguel Thomas for her overall outstanding achievement in the region. In a post to his Facebook page, Minister of Education, Honorable Dr. Jeffrey Hanley, congratulated Joshornia, stating, quote, "Standing out in the crowd of elite students is a remarkable accomplishment worth celebrating. This certificate, known as the Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence Award, distinguishes Miss Edwards among her peers and is indicative of her potential for success. Congratulations to Miss Edwards, her teachers, and her entire family, end quote. The CCSLC Regional Award is presented to candidates who complete the minimum requirements for CCSLC within a 3-year period with master proficiency in one sitting for English and mathematics. Life in Taiwan for graduates and persons who will go there as part of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the International Cooperation and Development Fund scholarship programs was the general topic of discussion of the Ministry of Education's Conversations with Education Media Unit recently. The episode featured Ambassador to the Republic of China, Taiwan, His Excellency Danya Francis, Judith Pemberton, Valencia Henry, and Adia Brunder. They all spoke about their experiences as students and tips on how to get used to Taiwan. Ms. Henry suggested taking a softer approach in delivering expressions.
Negotiating.
Ooh.
As an international student, coming from St. Kitts, coming from a Western culture where we communicate a bit directly, in Taiwan it's a lot different. So one of the things I would say was most interesting for me was realizing, let me call it a more feminine side. You know, you just operate softly, communicate softly, let your emotions show. In St. Kitts it probably wouldn't work. People might shout BS. But in Taiwan it resonates with them. So if you show the emotional side, you can get things done. So negotiating was interesting for me, and I learned how to do it differently in Taiwan. And I actually think it's effective.
Ambassador Francis spoke of his challenges with being homesick and how he handled it.
I was able to deal with the challenge of being homesick. You know, as I said, in my second year, I was really homesick. I really wanted to come home, but no one at home knew about that.
Right.
And so I joined the Taiwan Host Family program, where I met my lovely Taiwanese mom, Julia Su, and she was able to take me under her wings. And Valencia and Judith also met her during Chinese New Year.
We ate frog.
She would take us out, and she would invite us out for lunch or dinner, and we had frog legs.
Yes. Delicious.
And
try it.
So I would encourage people, if you go to Taiwan, you feel homesick, join this the Taiwan Host Family program. You meet different people. I was able to meet this great friend from Gambia. He was the one who introduced me to the program, and I told him what I was going through. And I was able to meet a whole family. You know, Julia, my.
They also recalled Christmas get-togethers which feature local dishes and aspects of the culture that they enjoy. All graduates encouraged the persons to persevere despite the challenges they will face and not allow failure to be an option. The role and function of the police force chaplain is to provide spiritual upliftment and advice to the rank and file of the St. Christopher Nevis Police and officers in the fire and rescue services. This was outlined by Force Chaplain Erickson Cumberbatch during his appearance on ZIZ Radio's program Policing with You on Thursday.
As the chaplain, I'm responsible to get to know people's problems, officers' problems, or deal with them on a spiritual level, as well as, one may say, psychological, but you know, it's more on the spiritual side, because when it comes to human being, our real problem is, we call it psychology, but really our real problem is the need for God. Alright, and so a lot of the issues that we may face may come down to the absence of certain principles or godly principles in our lives. So I'm here as a spiritual advisor to help persons to come to an understanding of where they are, why they might be having certain problems and difficulties, why they may be facing depression, why sometimes they feel that they are not welcome and they're not treated in the best way they could.
While the force chaplain does not have a regular work schedule, Cumberbatch explained that he is on call and has to be present for meetings with senior officials.
No, I don't have a normal working schedule. I am scheduled to be at meetings as appointed and as scheduled. So most mornings, Monday mornings, and Wednesday or Thursday, whenever the meetings are scheduled, I'm scheduled to be there. I function also as spiritual advisor to the High Command of both organizations or both departments, and so I'm scheduled to be at the meetings. But when it comes to the chaplaincy supervision, chaplaincy service, I'm on call. So I could be called at any time.
He also mentioned that the force chaplain is appointed by the Governor General and is under the directorship of the Commissioner of Police and the High Command. The National Housing Corporation, NHC, is offering persons in arrears the opportunity to find the best options available to pay for their homes by taking advantage of the refinancing program that is being offered. Participating in the Ministry of Sustainable Development's Land Fair, Supervisor at the Collections Department at NHC, Helena Charles, outlined how the refinancing program works.
We are encouraging persons who are in arrears to come in, and we will select the best option available for them to help reduce their arrears. And we certainly do need to get the numbers down because we need some of that money back so we can build more houses for other persons.
Helena Charles, Supervisor at the Collections Department at NHC. Coming up in regional news, Antigua and Barbuda deciding the way forward for Africa.